Prince William has always carried the immense weight of expectation on his shoulders. But lately, he's showing the world a side of himself that feels radically different from the stiff, heavily scripted version of royalty that we have all grown so used to. The old days of carefully polished interviews, with nervous handlers standing in the corner and journalists reading from pre-approved talking points, seem to be slipping away for good. Instead, we are now seeing Prince William on his own home turf, talking openly, walking his dog in the park, laughing in a local pub, and most surprisingly, sitting down for a casual, revealing conversation with Eugene Levy, the beloved Hollywood actor best known for his comedic roles in films like American Pie and the hit show Schitt's Creek. This is a move that signals something big is happening behind palace walls. This isn't King Charles's monarchy, and it's certainly not Queen Elizabeth's either. This is William, the future king, starting to sketch out his own bold blueprint for what comes next. What stood out most from this encounter wasn't just who he chose to speak to, but how he spoke. In a moment of striking candor, he admitted something that royals very rarely do, that family life is genuinely stressful. That is not the kind of confession you ever expect to hear from someone who was raised in the opulent world of palaces and castles, where every single detail of their lives is usually shrouded in a veil of perfection. By being so open about the universal challenges of home life, William instantly positioned himself as more relatable, more modern, and far more human than the institution has historically ever allowed its heirs to be. The setting itself, his own home at Windsor rather than a cold, formal palace room filled with bright lights and briefing notes, allowed him to be exactly that. He wasn't boxed in by the rigid rules of royal protocol. He was relaxed, comfortable, almost casual, and you could feel that authenticity in every single word. This shift matters because it's about far more than just a change in style. It's about the monarchy signaling to the next generation that things will not stay trapped in centuries of suffocating tradition forever. Prince William's groundbreaking projects on homelessness and mental health have already shown the world that he is determined to push the royal role into areas that feel socially relevant rather than purely ceremonial. And his choice of interviewer only reinforces that point. Instead of selecting a tough journalist who would be probing with forensic questions, he chose someone completely outside the British establishment, a veteran actor he genuinely admired, someone who famously plays the long-suffering, lovable father in beloved comedies. This wasn't about a media strategy designed to get easy questions. It was about showing the world that he is comfortable connecting with the entertainment world, not as a royal outsider dabbling in Hollywood, but as someone who understands its immense reach and cultural influence, while still wearing the weight of the crown. Now, compare that seamless integration to Harry and Meghan's chaotic attempt to leap into Hollywood after leaving the monarchy. Their move was widely seen as abandoning tradition in order to chase celebrity status, and it's a high-stakes gamble that, by all accounts, simply has not paid off. The notoriously tough doors of Hollywood don't just swing open because you once lived in Buckingham Palace. William, on the other hand, can pick up the phone and get anyone he wants to answer, not because he's desperately chasing fame, but because he is actively redefining what royalty looks like in the 21st century. He doesn't have to fight for relevance. He already embodies it, and he is proving to everyone that he knows how to use it wisely. And while Catherine, the Princess of Wales, isn't sitting in front of cameras making bold, headline-grabbing statements, she is quietly doing her part to reinforce this powerful image of a grounded, modern royal family. Watching her visit RAF personnel and their families, or seeing her walk down a steep set of stairs backwards in high heels with the most effortless composure, you see someone who makes the impossible look completely natural. She doesn't need to say much. Her quiet, steady presence does all the work. The polished grace, the easy warmth, and the incredible discipline, together, they remind people that this royal couple knows exactly how to balance the heavy demands of duty with the undeniable appeal of authenticity. The deeper you look at William's recent choices, the more you realize how calculated, yet completely natural, they are. He's not just staging quirky photo ops for the sake of getting headlines. He is quietly and methodically dismantling the old-fashioned idea that royals must live their lives behind impenetrable glass walls. When he walks into a pub to chat with Eugene Levy or appears on a scooter to meet him, it's not just a cute, symbolic gesture. It is a powerful statement that his reign will not be chained to ceremony for ceremony's sake. He wants to show the world that power doesn't have to feel distant and that the crown can be worn with a sense of ease rather than suffocating stiffness. What makes this transformation even more striking is the stark contrast with King Charles and the late Queen Elizabeth. For decades, their public images were fiercely guarded by layers of advisors, scripted lines, and an overwhelming sense that every single word they uttered must be weighed against centuries of tradition. William, by contrast, leans into the unpolished moments. He lets people see that he gets stressed by family life, that he can laugh about the American Pie movies, and that he is genuinely interested in the problems that ordinary people face every single day. This fundamental shift, from royal as a distant symbol to royal as a relatable human, marks a major turning point. And it's the exact thing that makes him resonate so strongly with younger generations who value honesty far more than they value ancient ritual. That doesn't mean he's throwing out the crown and all of its responsibilities. Insiders describe how he is already digging into the details of the Duchy of Cornwall with a surgeon's precision, questioning why things are done the way they've always been done and refusing to accept, because tradition says so, as a valid answer. This hands-on, modern approach shows that he is not content to simply inherit a system. He wants to re-engineer it to serve a real social impact. Whether it's directing funds into sustainable initiatives or ensuring that his projects on homelessness and mental health create tangible, lasting change, William is proving that he intends to manage the monarchy like a modern institution, not like a dusty museum piece. Of course, hovering in the background of all of this are Harry and Meghan. Every single move that William makes inadvertently highlights their own missteps. Where they attempted to forge a new identity in Hollywood and ended up scrambling for credibility, William is seamlessly folding elements of modern culture into the monarchy itself without ever abandoning his core role. He doesn't need to break away from the institution to feel relevant. His relevance is baked into the fact that he is steering that very institution towards something more open and approachable. That powerful contrast creates a quiet but undeniable pressure on Harry, who must now watch from the sidelines as his own brother effortlessly embodies everything he once claimed to want: independence, a powerful voice, modern appeal, and a global platform that speaks directly to the people. For Meghan, the situation is even trickier. The more that William successfully reshapes the monarchy into something progressive and relatable, the harder it becomes for her to argue that royal life was simply too rigid and old-fashioned for her to thrive. William is showing the world that it can, in fact, evolve, and in doing so, he is systematically cutting off the narrative that stepping away was the only possible path to authenticity. The irony is incredibly sharp. She left the family to embrace the entertainment world, but William is blending royal life and cultural relevance seamlessly from within. And that means the global spotlight will naturally and inevitably shift back toward him, leaving the Sussexes scrambling for attention in the shadows. The picture of the future monarchy is starting to sharpen, and it looks far less rigid than the one Britain has known for centuries. William is not interested in wearing the crown as a museum artifact. He is actively shaping it into a tool that connects with people where they are. He is not running away from tradition, but he is refusing to let tradition be an excuse for stagnation. What stands out most is how deliberate William has been about defining his legacy before he even ascends the throne. He is setting expectations early, making it clear that when his time comes, the monarchy won't simply be inherited, it will be reinvented. The crown may be ancient, but in William's hands, it is being polished into something new, something relevant, and something built to last.